here with Doug Stevens, founder and CEO of AirBridge Networks, talking to him about how AirBridge is changing the face of Wi-Fi in regional communities. I'm just going to make a quick reference point because it's been one of the most interesting things that I have seen of the day, being this big, I would say almost dumbbell-looking like shape that we've got at the top here. So I'm I'm looking forward to you telling us all about that in a second, Doug.
Absolutely.
So Doug, can you start by telling our audience a little bit about AirBridge, who you are, and what's the message that you're trying to convey at this year's Darwin Connected event?
Look, AirBridge Networks first started out as a very humble beginning in the Torres Strait, trying to give connectivity to those that have no connectivity. I mean, we asked the question, what are we trying to convey? And the answer is basically connectivity everywhere, which is really our mantra. Where the service qualifications come back and say, sorry, you can't get a connection, there's no signal, there's no budget, that's really where we step in and show our strength, where we can actually pick that service up and deliver it to places that historically have not been able to be connected.
Fantastic. Okay, so can you tell me how AirBridge, I mean, we've all heard of wireless, it's been around for years, right? So how is AirBridge, I guess, different or differentiating itself from other Wi-Fi technologies that are currently out there today?
Yeah, look, certainly we haven't reinvented the wheel. Wireless has been around for a while. I guess the adoption has been a bit of a struggle. We talk about microwave links and the old wireless links that you used to see, maybe a kilometre and maybe 1 or 2 meg. What we're talking about here is 100 kilometre reach at gigabit speeds, and that's genuinely revolutionary, and that's something that I think that we put a lot of passion and focus into, especially in regional Queensland and regional Australia.
So after some of the conversations that we've obviously had prior to this, you've been telling me how AirBridge really fits well into remote, regional and indigenous communities as well, and you've done a lot of work in councils and healthcare and that type of thing. Can you give the audience on the end of the camera today some examples of how AirBridge is changing remote and indigenous communities for the better with your technology?
Yeah, look, I think what's interesting is the number of people that have come to see us today, and this is becoming an increasing trend. We talk about what is remote and regional, and it's somehow perceived as this, one small 1% or thereabouts. But what we're seeing is there's a lot of regional Queensland, there's a lot of regional Northern Territory, there's a lot of regional Australia, and more so even international. A couple of international inquiries that came through today. The way that it changes the way a community works is amazing to watch. You're going from a stage where there's almost no connectivity and no communications to broadcasting something like this into a community and seeing those gigabit speeds. Immediately you've got multimedia, you've got access to job application mechanisms, you've got access to the IoT of things, you can measure water levels, you can use CCTV to monitor animal movements, you can open and shut gates. There's really no limit to what you can do. So in a capacity of a couple of days, you go from nothing to everything that you would expect in a metro setting.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, and using that technology to convey information. Some of our constituents our customers will use that to communicate to their constituents. Everything from look out, there's a cyclone coming. Here's how to prepare to be careful. There's a crocodile sighting. At the boat ramp, right through to how to have a mayoral address, or what's really up to date and topical information, and being able to send that information directly to the people that need it when they need it.
Fantastic. Doug, thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure.
I think you're actually almost one of my last interviews for the day, so it's been a pleasure to kind of sit down here and be able to have a chat with you. It's been a great connected event. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.